Missouri Senate committee votes down a Medicaid expansion funding proposal.
President Biden's bold climate plan to cut emissions by 50% is being met with skepticism by Republicans. I'm Deborah Alfarone at the White House on this Earth Day, where the Biden administration is focused on global emissions and American jobs.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some Missouri lawmakers vote against funding a Medicaid expansion. This is KOAM News at 5. The state's Senate Budget Committee voted 7-7 on a proposal to set aside money to pay for the program, meaning it fails in committee. Missouri voters last year amended the state constitution to expand Medicaid to thousands more low-income adults. But there are disagreements over how to pay for it. The leader of the Budget Committee says it's now up to the full Senate to make a final decision on funding. Law officers searched for at least 3 more suspects following a series of drug raids in southeast Kansas. Warrants remain active for Kevin Pratt and Jessica Rogers from Iola and Timothy Mishler from Chanute. They're among 12 suspects who were sought in KBI raids yesterday in Neosho County, Allen County, and Montgomery County, Kansas, following an 8-month-long investigation of drug crimes, including distribution of methamphetamine. One of the raids was at this location on North Garfield in Chanute, where officers say they found suspicious explosive devices. They've arrested a total of 9 people so far, 6 suspects from Chanute, 2 from Iola, 1 from Cherryvale. For a complete list of arrests and charges, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Doug Heddy joins us now with a first look at the weather. As expected, considerably nicer today, Doug.
Yeah, temperatures a little bit better for us today, but the clouds have been increasing over the past several hours as our next storm system is getting ready. It's starting to push in. You can already see some light showers out across the northern counties and then a bigger batch, which is building out across central parts of Oklahoma. And this is all going to spread in as we go through the evening hours. None of these are strong or severe, but they are producing some heavier amounts of rain. So as this batch works through during the evening hours, it's going to get pretty wet across the entire region. Let's go through time. Here's 8 p.m. You can see showers, even a few scattered thunderstorms, rain, 11 p.m. And then we'll get a little bit of a break after midnight. Then it really picks up once again down by the time we head into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. Very heavy amounts of rain. Of course, we're going to break it down for you here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Doug. Students at Pitt State hope to make a lasting difference. Students in the communication department are putting together a campus community green guide. The guide will highlight sustainability efforts on campus and local businesses that go above and beyond to operate in a sustainable manner. Students hope it'll have a lasting impact on incoming students and the campus.
We're all about to graduate, but once we're gone from here, that's something that's going to stay on campus and kind of almost be like a legacy for us, and hopefully bring about some good change, hopefully help people learn more about Pitt State and also how they can be sustainable.
The guide will be released to new students and the public this fall. Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more about what went into that project. Ascension Via Christi in Pittsburgh is not only celebrating Earth Day, but also recognizing the lives lost during the pandemic. To do this, the hospital planted a grove of trees as a living memorial. Officials say everyone on their staff has been impacted by the pandemic in some way, and this memorial will represent their mission while also helping the environment.
Everybody's ready to move forward after the past year surviving this pandemic. And in order to move forward, it's difficult not to first be reflective about the year that we've experienced.
The new tree grove is north of the hospital's parking lot. As the U.S. marks its 51st Earth Day, President Biden kicked off day 1 of a 2-day climate summit. The president has pledged the U.S. will cut greenhouse gas emissions by about half over the next 9 years, with a target of net zero emissions by 2050. Reporter Deborah Alfarone has more from the White House.
Before a virtual gathering of more than 40 world leaders, President Biden signaled the U.S. is back in the climate fight. He pledged to cut U.S. emissions from 2005 levels by up to 52% before the end of the decade.
The signs are unmistakable. The science is undeniable. But the cost of inaction it keeps mounting.
Those joining the president in curbing climate change included the leaders of Russia and China.
China will strive to peak carbon dioxide emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2060.
Also, Pope Francis.
We need to ensure that the environment is cleaner.
After Thursday morning sessions, members of the president's climate team discussed what the president's global goals mean domestically.
Investing in infrastructure, innovation in our workers and communities, it's something we cannot afford to pass on.
Addressing climate change is also a key driver in the president's multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure proposal, which has drawn pushback from Republicans in Congress.
He puts more money in his proposal for electric vehicles than he does for roads, bridges, ports, airports, and waterways combined.
Thursday, a group of Senate Republicans unveiled their nearly $600 billion infrastructure counterproposal, which focuses on roads and bridges, clean water, public transit, and broadband. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
During today's summit, President Biden also announced the creation of an international climate finance plan for public and private investment climate action goals. He and other world leaders also discussed providing funding to developing nations to help spur green growth. Coming up in Health Watch, trying to keep the vaccination rates high.
Are vaccination rates slowing down? I'm Elise Preston with the new tax incentive to get people protected.
And later, a massive conservation effort in Florida pays off as thousands of lakes are restored. New studies suggest COVID-19 mRNA vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna do not appear to pose serious risk during pregnancy. Researchers reviewed data from more than 35,000 pregnant women from December of last year through February of this year. Researchers found the most common side effect from the vaccine was pain at the injection site, which appeared more frequently in vaccine recipients who were pregnant. However, headache, muscle aches, chills, and fever were reported less frequently. After hitting his goal of 200 million vaccinations in his first 100 days in office, President Biden says the nation is now entering a new phase in trying to contain the coronavirus. Elise Preston reports.
Federal health officials say efforts to contain the coronavirus now turn to people who are still reluctant to get a shot.
Now comes the hard work of working with our community core, trying to understand why people might be hesitant. Is it the science that they feel was rushed?
So far, more than 134 million Americans have had one dose of a COVID vaccine, and 87 million are fully vaccinated. But some states are seeing a drop in demand.
News early last week of the FDA's and CDC's decision to pause use of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has some Iowans reconsidering whether to get vaccinated.
CDC vaccine advisors are set to meet Friday to discuss Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine, which was paused for use after reports of rare blood clots in several women. Health experts have not given any indication when J&J shots would resume and if they would come with a warning.
Here in New York, people over the age of 60 no longer need to make vaccine appointments in advance. Starting tomorrow, they can get walk-in appointments at mass vaccination sites like this one at Yankee Stadium.
Yes, we're making progress. Yes, the vaccinations are going to win the war, but we're not there yet.
The White House is trying to overcome diminishing demand for COVID-19 shots by offering businesses a tax incentive if they give employees paid leave to get vaccinated.
To celebrate our independence from this virus on July 4th, we still have more to do.
And there's new data offering reassurance to pregnant women considering a dose. New research in the New England Journal of Medicine suggests both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are safe and effective for moms-to-be. Elise Preston, CBS News.
On the global front, India reported a record of more than 314,000 new infections today, a grim surge in the world's second most populated country. Migraines before menopause could be an indicator of developing high blood pressure. A new study in the American Academy of Neurology shows the risk for high blood pressure jumped to 29% after menopause for women. Migraines have also been linked to higher chances of cardiovascular disease for women. Black and Latino stroke survivors are at a greater risk of having a second stroke. Boston researchers say survivors of color are more likely to experience a narrowing of the brain's blood vessels. That increases the risk of second stroke as much as 60%. Researchers believe lack of access to care and higher blood pressure rates also play a role in the risk disparity. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the Labor Department's latest weekly jobs report.
Plus, we have rain, which is working in over the next couple days. We're going to take a look at that coming up next. Well, we had another freeze during the morning hours, and that should be our last freeze of the spring season, which is good news. And then we warmed up into the upper 50s to near 60. Still well shy of where we should be for this time of the year, but better than what we have been over the past couple days. And you can see most of us mid to upper 50s, and then once you get into Oklahoma, you jump into lower 60s right now, which is pretty good. South winds have been light all day, but they are starting to increase and will continue to increase tonight into tomorrow ahead of our next storm system, which is starting to push in. Outside, we have the clouds. Still most of us dry, currently sitting at 58, south winds at 6, humidity is bone dry at 30%, but will also increase over the next several hours. We're going to slide back through the 50s, eventually upper 40s for lows, but we are going to start to see showers, even a few thunderstorms, which are going to pick up over the next several hours. Right now, not a ton is going on. Few light little showers in our northern counties, but you can see the rain really starting to increase out across south central Kansas down through northeastern parts of Oklahoma, and all of this is going to head toward us over the next several hours. And there are some embedded at least little tiny thunderstorms in here. It's mainly just kind of moderate to heavy amounts of rain, but all this is going to push through over the next 4 or 5 hours, and then we'll see a little bit of a break later on tonight. But this is the first wave of this system. The main system is still sitting way back out across southern parts of Utah, and this is going to kick out as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours. Let's go through time. Here's 8 p.m. Showers, rain, maybe a rumble or two of thunder, some heavy amounts of rain even. Showers continue, so here's 11 p.m. After midnight, it's going to become a little bit more scattered, very light showers into tomorrow morning. And then this will start to pick back up again as we go through the morning hours for us tomorrow. So we'll have random showers tomorrow morning, a little bit warmer. We're going to go into the mid 60s. So here's 10:30. Let's go into the early afternoon. Now we start getting thunderstorms developing in our western counties. Temperatures, though, at least a little bit better as we should go into the mid 60s. 48 to start, 60 by noon, high temp right around 66. Thunderstorms continue to develop during the afternoon into the evening hours. So here's 5:30. Some of these could be strong, maybe even low-grade severe. If we had anything severe, the main threat here would be gusty winds and also some hail, and definitely very heavy amounts of rain. Periods of thunderstorms through tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. Here's almost midnight, and then finally the heaviest rain will start to pull east. We'll have some morning showers on Saturday, and then things look pretty good by Saturday afternoon. Plenty of sunshine as we go back into the mid 60s for highs. Rainfall amounts, though, they're going to be pretty impressive. I think a lot of areas are going to pick up 1, 2, if not 3 inches of rain out of this next storm system, which is going to really start to roll through here over the next couple hours. So showers tonight. Thunderstorms tomorrow, especially in the afternoon, 66. Morning showers Saturday. Sunday looks great. Monday looks great, 82. And then thunderstorms again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and also severe threat returns on Tuesday.
You and the weather team have your work cut out for you. I know you'll keep us informed.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, how conservation efforts restored more than 1,000 lakes in Florida. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Newell Bruner served in the U.S. Army from 1954 to 56. The Columbus, Kansas native was stationed in Germany, and we salute Specialist 4th grade Newell Bruner, a four-state hero. Topping Consumer Watch, another round of improvement in the job market. According to the Labor Department, first-time filings for weekly jobless claims fell to 547,000 last week. That's down from 486,000 in the prior week. It also marks a pandemic-era low. The Biden administration is extending free school lunches for kids all across our nation. Every student in kindergarten through 12th grade will be able to receive a free meal through the spring of 2022. The USDA program lets families pick up free food from their local school district even if they don't technically qualify for free and reduced priced meals. Fake Pfizer vaccines are hitting the market. The company confirmed a report that counterfeit versions of its COVID-19 vaccine were discovered in Mexico and in Poland. The vials in Mexico had fraudulent labels, and the substance in the vials discovered in Poland was suspected to be anti-wrinkle cream. Corporate America is making a pledge to protect the climate. Big brands like Visa, Pepsi, and Alaska Airlines have signed on to accelerating their efforts to reach the goals of the Paris Climate Accord. And more than 100 companies have committed to reaching the goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2040. More than 1,000 lakes, rivers, and other water bodies in Florida that were nearly dried up have been restored thanks to a massive conservation effort. Reporter Chris Martinez explains how the long-term plan brought the water back.
This lake just north of Tampa, Florida, is more full now than it's ever been. Hard to believe not long ago, this is how it looked.
It really is a story about cooperation.
Absolutely. Brian Armstrong is the executive director of the Southwest Florida Water Management District. He says decades of overpumping groundwater from the aquifer led to a dramatic decline of water levels. More than 1,300 lakes and other water bodies were drying up, some of them entirely gone. But a decades-long conservation plan has turned everything around. Local governments and utilities work together, spending billions to create alternative water supplies. They built one of the largest desalination plants in North America, where salt is removed from seawater, along with a 15 billion-gallon surface water reservoir.
We like to say you're able to choose the right source at the right time.
Even as the population in the area has grown by about 1 million people, the alternative supplies have cut groundwater withdrawal by nearly 50%, allowing the water bodies to heal.
What we achieved was a way to develop a sustainable, safe drinking water supply while recovering the environment, while growing in population.
Armstrong says it's a model for other regions that could face water shortages in the coming years. Experts predicting by 2025, 2/3 of the world's population will live in water-stressed regions. Chris Martinez, CBS News.
A final check of the forecast next. The CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, Kansas Governor Kelly vetoes legislation prohibiting transgender athletes from competing in girls and women's sports. Plus, we're going to hear more from Pitt State students making a guide to highlight sustainability efforts on campus. And Ascension Via Christi Hospital deploys more than a dozen employees to other parts of the country to combat the coronavirus. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. And we all know cats like playing with cardboard boxes. Well, turns out apparently gorillas kind of do as well. This is video of Kendi the gorilla at the Louisville Zoo in Kentucky, having the time of his life messing around with the box, even climbing with that box on. Zookeeper said it was part of an animal enrichment activity. I'll tell you something. Human beings, especially young ones, like playing with boxes as well. Kind of a doorway to the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, might as well, right?
Exactly. Why not have some fun? Doug, the weather.
Yeah, we got rain, which is working in, so we're going to have periods of showers, maybe even a random little thunderstorm for us tonight. Nothing strong or severe. Showers tomorrow morning, thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night with some heavy amounts of rain, but the weekend looks pretty good.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you back here at 6. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.